Hello everybody, Zark here, back with another video. Today we're playing, well actually this is a tutorial on how to use MINE-IMATOR. So if you guys don't know what MINE-IMATOR is, it's a little like animation program that you can use with Minecraft assets. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to use it. So right here I have my little Minecraft asset world for a little animation I've been working on. I recommend using World Edit to do this stuff, so that way you don't have to like build a road for 3 hours. And like make your stuff. I made a signal here, and I got train tracks here for me to use and everything. But we can open MINE-IMATOR. So if you go, I'm not gonna make a tutorial on how to download MINE-IMATOR, but you guys can go find one of those. Maybe I'll make one in the future, but I'm not gonna make one soon. But I'll teach you guys how to use MINE-IMATOR today. So once you open it, it's gonna do this. It'll take a few minutes, but then you can create a project. We're gonna create a new project and just name this something. I'm gonna name this tutorial. And then you don't have to put an author, but if you do, just I guess put your username, which is, for me, it's on Bedrock Edition, it's SkellyBoy31, and then create. Alright, there we go. Work camera. I recommend having your little camera like down here on the right side, but yeah, you just start off in a big empty plane. Let's just go ahead and learn the basics. So on the side you can do like background and change the time like this. So I want it morning, I can have it morning. I want it noon, it can be noon. I want it to be like 11 o'clock, it can be 11 o'clock. If I want it to be midnight, it can be midnight. And then I think this rotates the sky. So this right here rotates the sky, but I guess just keep it like this. And there you go. I'm gonna make it just like noon for this animation, I guess. Excuse me. You can add sky fog, which pretty much just gives it like depth. If you don't have it, it just looks like this, which, trust me, it does not look the greatest. You can have flat clouds. That does look pretty good if you want it to be, I don't know, but it looks kind of good sometimes. But definitely, where did the sky fog go? Oh, I forgot. You can also change like the moon type, so we can have yeah, you can change the moon type, so we could have like, here, let me make it nighttime. You could have a new moon, a waxing crescent. These are all actual real types of moons. But yeah, we can go ahead and make it daytime. But yeah, you can have like flat clouds, but I'm not gonna do that. I kind of like them to have their depth. Keep sky fog on if you want to have a nice looking animation. You can change the fog color, but I just keep it normal, so yeah. And then you can have wind on, so that means like if we go ahead and add a block like grass or something, I don't know. Hold on, let me find some grass. So if I added some grass, it wiggles. And if I increase the wind speed, it's gonna do that. And wind strength, it's gonna do that. And that, no. Okay, yeah, well, let's just get rid of that grass for now. Anyway, I recommend keeping your wind speed at around 50% and wind strength at 1. Because then it gives it like a good day, I guess you can say, type of look. We can go back up here. Then you have your library, which is pretty much all the items you have in here. Then you have project, which is the stuff we did at the beginning, but we don't have to change that unless you want to. Resources, which is just resource packs. We just keep the same old one. You can actually change the resource packs. You just go into Minecraft and find the resource pack you have, like how you change it on Java. By the way, to do this, you are using Java Edition, not Bedrock Edition. Anyway, we can start up here and we can add a character. Now you could do a skeleton, a zombie, a creeper, spider, enderman, human. But I'm gonna do a human, and I'm going to just add my Minecraft character, and then we can create. Now I'm in here. And we can just bring him down here. And you know what? This is how we'll learn the basics of this. So you just tap on the chest once, and once the thing comes down here, then you can move the entire body instead of it like only moving like the torso. And then if you click on something else, then you can move the body. So I could do this, so he bends. This. And I can also do this one, so it can rotate like he's looking without moving his entire body. And then you can just do this, which rotates. Yeah. Anyway, you can do that. And then same with the head, but that one doesn't have the blue lines. The light blue lines, that's for like these mini, like, skeleton parts, I guess you can say. Same with the legs, so you can like bend the knee like this. Same with the arm, and yeah. So yeah, go ahead and reel like for 5 minutes. Try and get used to like the controls and everything. Right click and then use W, A, and D to move, and then your mouse to move around, or like look around. And then down here is your work camera, which is the same thing, but we're going to turn that into our main camera for animating. That's like going to be our scene. Get that into like a good position until you're used to this. But then we're going to move a terrain from a Minecraft schematic. Now this is actually just like your models you use. So that means we can just go in here, we can import from world. This is my train world, I believe. Yep, this is my train world. You know what, let's import 1206. So you just do the outline, and then here you can just adjust it so how you want it, and then bring that in, create. And boom, look at that. We have 1206 from Unstoppable. Like so. There we go. And this is fully animatable. Now you can't like animate every single tile like tripwire hooks or something, but like it said at the beginning when I spawned this in, it said like 24 blocks were like animatable. Do you want them to have their own timestamps? If you click no, they aren't going to appear. If you click yes, they will appear. Now I'm just letting you guys know nothing above 1.18 will show. So that means if you have like a mangrove plank on something, it's not going to come in. So that means like if you have a skulk block, it's not going to come in. Alright, let's move on to items. So you have every item in the game here, and you can just spawn in any one of them. So that means you want your guy to have a diamond shovel? Well, you can spawn in a diamond shovel. Where did my diamond shovel? There it is. You now have a diamond shovel. And if you wanted to, you could just like do an animation where this shovel is just flying at the train, and it goes through the window. And then the terrain starts flying and exploding, because I like doing animations like that. Or maybe you could use a shovel as like a lever. Because maybe a lever doesn't look the way you want it, so you can just shove the diamond part into a wall, and then you got a nice looking lever. Now we have actual blocks, which I showed earlier at the beginning. So we have like stone, grass. We have every block of the game pretty much. So pretty much every block in the game that's available, like I said. So say you wanted to add a block that's in 1.20. But it won't come in because this is 1.18 and below. But that, if you wanted to, you could also look in here to see what blocks are available. But you can also just spawn in regular blocks in here. Stone, gravel. You could animate gravel piles falling on people, I guess. You got bookshelves, TNT, obsidian, pretty much everything. You even got torches and wall torches. And fire. Oh. There's directional stuff, but yeah. So here, you know, let's try this out. So we have north, we can do that. So, and then we can have it go east. Yes. So now we have fire. So where is my fire? Okay, here it is. Now we can have our train on fire. Boom. Our train is on fire. Alright. Now we can do this, which is just like blocks that are animated. So we have minecarts, end crystals. Pretty much just blocks that are animatable. So that means dragon heads, mob heads of your choice. So you can choose my head. character. You could do a zombie or something. I don't know. Cameras. Yeah, cameras are in Minecraft. I forgot about that. You got arrows, shields, all the animatable stuff. Even a piston. Here, you know what? We'll add a piston. So if I just click on this front part, then it will animate, and I can just do this. I can just break this piston. And then this part, we can have like a piston like this, I guess. I don't know. And then we got this, which is just the animatable part, I think. I don't know. I actually haven't used this yet, but this looks like just mob heads in general. So like skeleton heads. Oh, I think this might be like body parts. Well, yeah, just their heads, I guess. Okay, yeah, so we could do Ravager part. Yeah, okay, so that you can just spawn in like body parts. Then you have particle creators like firework blast, explosions, grass fire, high fire. And then we have point lights. I don't really use these, but this is just like a lighting thing. Then we have a spotlight, which pretty much just lights a certain area that it's pointing at. Now we have text, which can be 3D and it can face camera. So say you want to do a credit area and then you want the text to follow the camera, it'll follow the camera like this. And it's also 3D. But you can also do 2D if you don't want it to be 3D. Here, you can make your pretty much own custom blocks by just importing a block texture. And then these are just blocks. And then we have the camera. This is the important part. This is how you make your animation. Now that'll come down to here. So now, look at this. This is the camera that we animate with. So, there we go. Then we have backgrounds, which I actually don't know what that does, but then we have audio tracks and models, which pretty much you can import from like Blockbench. Then audio tracks. This is how you add audio to your animation. I've been testing this out sometimes, but not much. But anyway, now we can start working on our animation. So let's bring our train down. We're just gonna have Glad on the grass, because you know, this is a Minecraft animation, not a Michael Bay movie. So good for us. Alrighty, there we go. Now we're gonna have a piston here. So go ahead and go to the 0 frame, because that's where you're gonna want to start. That's just how everything works, I guess. So here we're gonna have a piston, and we're gonna have its thingy go in instead of out. So it's gonna start like this, and it's gonna push the train. We're gonna have it push the train, and then yeah, I think you guys see where this is going. So pretty much get your animation set up. Don't get into animating right away. Set up your entire animation, because once you set up your entire animation, then everything's set to go. Because then sometimes things won't break. I've had to learn that the hard way. Anyway, we'll move our camera over here to the train, and pretty much, yeah. Also, we'll get our fire over here. We're just gonna shove that underground so no one can see it. And then, our text we can edit. If you click on it, you can edit. And then we can say, thanks for watching. I just realized, since I use keybind, Shift-C, is how I do all this. But as I was saying, just get the animation ready. I shoved this shovel inside the piston, so now, yeah, I just got everything ready, and now we are ready to animate. So get your camera where you want it to be positioned. I want it right here. I'm going to take my character, and we're going to take him here. Hold on. Select him. We're going to go to 100, I guess. No, we're going to go to 50. No. 30, and he's going to go forward. Then, by 50, he's going to make it up here. And then on 51, we're going to set him in here, like you just teleported or something. Like so. Perfect. Now we can set him in here, like so. So that way, as you can see right here, he's going up, and then he just teleports inside. Now we're going to do the same thing with our camera, so we'll have it here, and then on 51, right when he teleports, we'll move our camera to here. And then by frame 70, we're going to set a little timestamp for our train. So when you want to set a timestamp for something, just move it slightly and then move it back to where it was. So that way, once you're ready, it can start moving if it's just been sitting. So we'll have it go to about here by frame 90. And here. And then, I'm going to show an example here. I just click Control Z to go back. If you do that and then select your Minecraft character here. Oh, hold on. So, if we select our character and then select our train, they can go the same together. So, we'll set it just before this piston. So, like a few blocks before the piston. And I forgot to set a timestamp for the character, so my mistakes are an example for you guys on what not to do. So we can just move them back into here, like so. And come get comfortable. So this is pretty much just showing what he's, like, how everything's happening. So that way we can animate everything to work out. So then we can set our camera over here, like we wanted. So now we have our camera can move this way with the train, and then right at 91 it clips over to the piston, which it will show for about frame 100. We could set our timestamp by just doing this, and then on 101 we can show this, and then we can set a timestamp here. Here, keep our camera there. So we can set our timestamp here by just moving it there. And then right here at 120, it can make it to here. And then, yeah. So from here is where we will pause, and we will start working on everything else. We also need to do our character. So on 120, we'll set him back into the cab. I think he's moving with the train, right? Oh no, I forgot to set him a timestamp. So we'll just keep him here. Same with at 100. Keep him here. And then at 120, he can move with the train. Alright, we can now go back to frame 0, where we will now start animating. So I'll move his arm like this. I'm going to keep a nice blocky animation instead of having him like have all of his limbs move, but I'm going to have all of his limbs move as well. So move his legs like this. Keep them opposite though, so they're not moving together. And then at frame 30, we can move his arm up into here. So that way it actually looks like he's climbing up. Gives him more pizzazz, I guess. So we can have his arms move up, legs move up. We can keep his leg here. And then by frame 50, we can move his, oh my gosh, his arm just did like a 360, bro's poor arm. Rip, bro. Anyway, we can go ahead and, shoot, how do I move his arm back? What? This is the same thing. You know what? Okay, there we go. That's good enough. Then we can move his arm back again, somewhat. Can someone help me? I'm having troubles. I think I'm gonna need to watch a tutorial for the tutorial. Joke. I don't watch tutorials. I only make them. Anyway, we can get our legs up here, like so. And then boom, he teleports, and now we can reset his limbs by just moving them to where they would normally be. Like so. And You feel free to move their head. I have to move my character's head quite a few times, so there we go. So now if we watch this. There we go. He climbed up. Look at that. Now we can animate everything. The rest of this, which doesn't really need to be animated that much since we just animated our character. So we can move on to the piston, where at frame 100, we wait right as the time comes, which is frame 110, right here. Keep it still. Keep the shovel right there. We just set our timestamps. Then, at frame 115, it shoots out. We can take our shovel and we can shoot it into here, like so. Right into there. Then, we'll take our fire, we're going to move it over to here. Oh, no, I just did that with the camera. Control Z. We're going to take our fire, we set our timestamp. Now, we just take that up here, and now our bogey is on fire. And then we can move the shovel with the terrain. Like this. And then, we can move our camera to here. And then, now we can select everything. Oh. We take the fire, we select that. We select the shovel. I think we selected the shovel, yes. We select the train, and we select our character. Alright. Wait, nope, hold on. Okay. Character. Train. Shovel. Fire. Then we can move this to 130, where it can keep going. And you know, we'll bring our camera back over here. We'll bring it over here again. There we go. And now we can just alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this actually. So, boom. He climbs up. It goes and it shoots in. There we go. Oh, thanks for watching came in a view, so there we go. At 130, we will add, we'll do a grass explosion. And we'll just, do that down here. We'll add another one here, and another one here, and one here. Like so. Then, when we play, a bunch of explosions happen. And you know, the thing, you can feel free to like adjust when they explode. I'm not going to, because I'm feeling a little lazy today. But, right, is that shoots in here. I feel like adding some audio. So we're gonna create an audio thing. And if we scroll down, audio track, we can add a sound. If I go to my downloads, I have a few of these, so can add this. So I forgot I have my desktop audio on a little bit. Here, you know what, we'll just do a metal pipe, because metal pipes are awesome. Am I right? Heh. And you know what, we'll go here, we'll add another audio. And when we select this one, we can add a metal pipe. And then, so now, once that goes in. Alright, and then, you know what, just because, like, why not, we'll add another sound. We go down to this audio track, add sound. We can add Rehehe. I don't really want this one actually, so there, we can mute it. So now we can go move it like here. Perfect. Now, up here you can export the frame that you have right here into an image, but we're just going to export the animation, so just take your little marker thing here to where you want your animation to stop. I'll have mine stop at like 150, then you can just do this, do all this stuff, and then click save. I'll just save this as tutorial, and depending on your PC, it can take like 5 hours. For me, it takes 20 seconds for 338 frames. So, wait, 338 frames? I thought I had it at 165. Anyway, well, yep, that's how you do it. I'll post this to YouTube the day of this tutorial, so, you know, I'm gonna post this a minute after. Yeah, okay, there we go. Then, you can just go ahead and click Save the Current Project and close MINE-IMATOR. Boom. There you go. You just made a tutorial. And, yeah, that's how you make a tutorial, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!